Dudley Dursley, Harry Potter's chubby, selfish, self-centered bullying cousin, who, after 6 years of trying to make Harry's life a living hell, eventually realises that Harry isn't so bad after all, and he may have taken things a little overboard during the many years they lived together, was as far away as becoming a wizard as you can imagine, with even J.K. Rowling going as far as stating that nothing magical could ever come from Vernon's side anyway. It would be from Petunia's dormant magical gene that Dudley would inherit his power, and with that being said, what exactly would happen if Dudley was a wizard and got accepted to Hogwarts? Obviously, both Harry and Dudley would receive their letters at the same time, to which Dudley's acceptance will be the main celebration point. I can't see much changing in terms of the fact that Dudley would still be in the limelight. As much as Dudley would be excited, I feel it would be one of the proudest yet smug moments of Petunia's life, stepping foot in Diagon Alley, a place where she secretly wished she could have joined her sister in visiting as a Hogwarts student. And no expense would be spared for Dudley, as many of you would expect. Maybe a Nimbus 2000, followed by the most expensive robes money can buy. Or maybe an owl, although his selfish personality does not compensate the purity of an owl. Now, with that being said, I honestly believe that attending Hogwarts would give Dudley the biggest reality check of his young life so far. And here's my reasons why. We've got to look at it from this point of view. Dudley is a bully. He's the typical bully, insecure about himself, so he takes it out on people he sees as weak. But it's stature that gives a bully power, and Dudley would lack the proper stature to establish himself as the dominant male in a school of magic like he did with his muggle friends. In fact, I believe he'd be on the opposite end of the scale. He can never gain the status he needs with the Slytherin bullies because he's a muggle born, and let's be honest, the only house that seems to have bullies of any notoriety is Slytherin. And that's not anything against Slytherin because I'm a Slytherin, but it's just a point of view. And yes, he and Draco Malfoy could possibly have the same goals in tormenting Harry, but instead of the two associating with one another, Malfoy would ridicule Dudley as a chubby little mudblood, and no way in hell would he even stand in the same room as him unless he had to. So, with Dudley on the receiving end of mistreatment from Draco and his friends, he'd finally start to see how badly he had actually treated Harry, and while his cousin would enjoy his mistreatment at first, he'd eventually feel sorry for poor old Dudley. And I think Dudley's character would eventually change for the better, showing a potential for bravery and courage by starting over anew with Harry and possibly forming a mutual friendship with him. And I definitely feel at the start of the year during the sorting ceremony, the Sorting Hat would have foreseen this potential and placed Dudley in Gryffindor. However, there's two scenarios that I could see happening at the time of the Second Wizarding War. With the fact that Dudley is Harry's cousin, and like it or not in this timeline, Harry would care about his well-being. I could see Voldemort instructing Draco to lure Dudley into a trap in order to make an example of allowing mudbloods the opportunity to study magic, while simultaneously inflicting further hurt upon Harry. Sadly for Dudley, he would be one of the earliest casualties of the war, and his death would further plague Harry's mind with guilt. Vernon and Petunia would be undeniably distraught and would ultimately blame Harry for the death of their son, and I could actually see them threatening to expose the wizarding world, although this will be an empty threat in my opinion. And the other scenario I see is Dudley actually betraying Harry in order to gain acceptance by Malfoy and then possibly into the Dark Lord's circle, and this stems back to him craving acceptance and importance in his bullying days. He would still end up losing his life, however, as his blood status would not see him be permitted to join Voldemort's ranks. But anyway, I believe the Dark Lord would have disposed of him either way. Thank you very much for watching today's video, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy it, then please I ask you to give this video a thumbs up, as it helps the video out in a great way, and it also helps the channel to grow. And again, I must apologise, I'm very ill at the minute. I've got a lung infection and a flu, so my voice is not the best. I have tried to record this several times, so I hope the audio is of sufficient quality for you all when you're listening to this video. As I always say, please continue to leave your video suggestions in the comment section below. Your choice could be next. And finally, if you haven't already, then please consider subscribing to my channel Harry Potter Folklore for more Harry Potter content. Everyone, thank you very much for watching today's video, and please have a great day.